Hi, I'm Kenneth Wajda. I'm a professional photographer here in Colorado. Welcome to another one of my photography talks. Today I'm talking about gear. Specifically, the Yashica T2 with a little leather case. So, I talked about an estate sale, and they had some cameras there. Well, two of the point and shoots that they had were a Yashica T2 and some other ones. This one, it didn't sell. I ended up going back to the sale on the last day of the sale in the afternoon, Sunday afternoon. It had started Friday morning, and Sunday afternoon this is still sitting there. And this one was sitting there with a $125 price tag because they knew the Yashica T2 is considered a little bit of a cult camera because it has a Carl Zeiss 35mm 3.5 lens. But most people don't want a film camera for $125. So at the end of the day, I said, I'd go 30. And the woman knows me again from the sale and from the show and from being at her store in the past. And she said, okay. And I said, it's going to cost me $10 to put a battery in. And it did. And it's a crazy little camera. When you fire it, the lens hood opens, fires, and then it goes back. Now, one of the issues with this camera is to use no flash, you have to hold the no flash button down. So that's a little bit of an annoying thing about this camera. And I'm not sure if I'll end up using it or keeping it. But it was one of those things that I know it's a quality camera with a quality lens right on it. And I wanted to be able to at least put a battery in it and try it. And it's worth more in resale than, you know, not buying it for that $30. And it was the end of the sale. And I knew that she really just wanted to get rid of it. And it's a 35mm 3.5 lens. It's got the T coating. It's DX coating. So that's a little bit of a problem. It only works on the setting that the film is marked for. So unless you can change that in some way, you pretty much are at, this is a completely automatic camera. It gives you very little manual control. You have two buttons on the top. One that says daylight flash and one that says no flash. So you can either let the camera choose to put the flash on, like that first shot I took of the, video camera, or you can turn the daylight flash on, or you can turn it off altogether, and then it'll calculate what else it needs. But it's a pretty simple camera with very little to it. It's got a self timer. It's the only other button on the thing, and it's got an on and off switch. And it's Kyocera. I think it's a Japanese company that kind of was in a partnership with Yashica, as I understand it, and good quality lens, a little bit of a cult camera, pretty small. You can get it for $30, pick one up. They're decent cameras, although they're pretty limiting in the fact that you can't adjust anything. You can't even lie to it until it's got a different kind of film in it, so you can over or underexpose. You're kind of stuck with whatever it comes up with. But for most situations, it probably works pretty well. Reviews are good on it. It's a Yashica T2. Those deals are out there. But you have to offer lower prices than what they're asking for, especially if you're aware that estate sales only go 3 days, and on the third day, they're going to be stuck with the stuff that's left. That's the day you can really bargain. And fortunately, they didn't come down on price earlier in the sale, and so nobody picked it up for $125. So for $30, it ended up mine. All right, that's today's photography talk. If you're enjoying these, I'll put this away. Be ready for next time. Be ready for a shoot. I might put a raw film through it because I just am interested in the quality of that lens and the contrast of that lens because people talk so well of it. And I've used a Tessar lens before on a Rolleiflex and other cameras before, so I certainly am familiar with it. All right, that's today's photography talk. If you're enjoying these, hit the subscribe button. If you can support, hit the Patreon. And thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. We'll talk soon. Comments too.